My wife went on a business trip with her male assistant for 6 months. When we met again, she was holding her 3-month pregnant belly and demanded that I help her with fetal protection. You are the best obstetrician. You must save this child, or I'll divorce you. Later, I performed the fetal preservation surgery for her. After the surgery, I called home. Dad, I'm preparing for a divorce. I'll come work at your hospital. Also, cancel all our collaborations with Sommerset Hospital. My dad paused upon hearing my words, then asked me, Did you really think it through? He said, It's good if you did. We have our own hospital. Yet you went to work at hers. You're a top-tier OB/GYN making only $10,000 a month. It gives me chest pains. But are you sure about the divorce this time? You won't go soft again. My dad was still skeptical about my sudden decision. After all, everyone knew how deeply I loved Lillian Sarandon. But this time I was very firm. I'm sure. I'll resign after I finish the remaining surgeries on my list. After hanging up, I stepped out of the ward and saw my colleague's sympathetic looks. A colleague handed me the report. I glanced at it. The threatened miscarriage was caused by recent intense sexual activity. Holding the report, I took a deep breath and pushed open Lillian's ward door. She had just woken up. Seeing me, she frowned and asked directly, How's my baby now? Is there still a risk of miscarriage? Her eyes were full of worry. Clearly, she cared a lot about this baby. It reminded me that we had once had a child together, but that baby was lost in a miscarriage caused by Lillian going skydiving. When she found out she'd lost the baby, she was expressionless. There wasn't a trace of grief like a mother losing her child. She had frowned and told me, This child came at the wrong time. It's gone, so be it. Later, I learned the reason she went skydiving. It was because her best friend's younger brother, Barry Appleton, had returned from abroad. She insisted on skydiving at 5 months pregnant to celebrate with Barry. That's how the baby was lost. Hearing Lillian's words now, pain surged in my heart. I clenched my fingers and said, The baby's safe. Don't worry, the surgery was a success. Lillian breathed a sigh of relief. The worry in her eyes finally faded a bit. Looking at her like this, my voice trembled slightly. You were away for 6 months and now you're 3 months pregnant. I paused for a moment. And now you're carrying someone else's child and still come to me for fetal protection? Did you do this on purpose? Lillian was stunned for a moment after hearing me. She finally looked up at me. Then she actually frowned and nodded. Is there a problem? You're a top OB/GYN. Only if I come to you can the baby be perfectly safe. Then she paused, frowning even deeper. Lucas, can't you stop being so petty? So what if I'm pregnant? I told you Barry has a terminal illness. Before he dies, he just wants a child. I was just doing him a favor. Why are you fussing with someone who's about to die? Can't you stop being so petty? If you keep being so petty, then let's just get divorced, she threatened. I clenched my fingers even tighter. I really couldn't understand how she could say something so shameless. In the past, Lillian always used divorce to threaten me. Because I loved her, I would panic every time she said it. But not anymore. I looked at her and sneered coldly. Fine, let's get divorced, I said, and Lillian was stunned for a moment. But right then her phone rang. It was Barry. Lillian immediately picked up the call. Don't worry, our baby is fine. Why are you feeling guilty? It's not your fault. By the way, didn't you like that latest LV suit and watch? I'll buy them for you, okay? Don't cry, it's breaking my heart. Lillian was busy comforting Barry. She didn't care at all about the divorce I had just brought up. She just kept comforting Barry and didn't spare me even a glance. My hands and feet slowly turned cold. I closed my eyes and turned to leave the room. Back in my office, I first asked my dad's lawyer to prepare a divorce agreement. Then I opened my computer to continue planning for upcoming surgeries. Halfway through, a nurse came in and handed me a bag. Kentwood, the dean ordered takeout for you. He said not to go hungry working overtime. I froze when I saw the takeout. It was from a 5-star hotel. I had always loved the food from that hotel. Back when I celebrated anniversaries with Lillian, she used to go there with me. But ever since Barry came back, we had never gone again. A wave of emotion stirred in my chest. I opened the bag and saw shrimp spaghetti. Looking at the shrimp on top, I let out a bitter smile. I'm allergic to seafood, and yet Lillian ordered this for me. I picked up my phone and checked social media. Sure enough, Barry had posted, Thanks dear for the suit and watch. Tonight, she even treated me to a feast. But we ordered a bit too much. Couldn't finish the restaurant's famous shrimp spaghetti. So we packed it home for the dog. After reading the post, I threw the bag straight into the trash. Right after that, a friend messaged me. After months, he finally found Barry's medical report. I glanced at it and sneered. By the time I got home, it was already late at night. As soon as I walked in, I saw Lillian in the bathroom washing a pair of men's underwear. The thing in Lillian's hand was obviously not mine. She had never washed a piece of clothing for me before, so it was obvious whose it belonged to. When she saw me come in, Lillian frowned and looked at me. Why are you only getting home now? Did you eat the spaghetti? Hearing her words, I let out a cold laugh. I'm allergic to seafood. Did you forget? Lillian froze, a trace of embarrassment flashing in her eyes. Then she picked up her phone. I'll order you something else, I sneered. Don't bother. With that, I headed straight to the bedroom. After washing up and lying down, Lillian also got into bed. She hugged me from behind. Lucas, don't worry. After I give birth to this baby, I'll give you one too. The heavy scent of men's cologne on her made my head ache. A wave of nausea surged through me. Without thinking, I broke free from her. Then I turned on the bedside lamp and looked at her coldly, repeating what I had said that morning. Lillian, let's get divorced. This time, no one interrupted. Lillian finally heard me clearly. We stared at each other for several seconds. Then she actually sneered. Divorce? You want to divorce me? Lucas, can you stop joking around like this? What's the reason? Just because I'm pregnant with Barry's child? I told you already. He has cancer and won't live long. She scolded me. He just wanted a child before he dies. You're an OB/GYN. Can't you show some compassion? I looked into Lillian's eyes and actually laughed. I asked her, is he really dying of cancer? I took Barry's medical report from the nightstand and handed it to her. He's perfectly healthy. He never had cancer in the first place. He's been lying to you from the very beginning. Lillian glanced at the report, but there wasn't a trace of surprise in her eyes. In that moment, my heart sank to the bottom. So she had known all along. What a joke. Lillian looked at me and said after a moment of silence, Barry just told a little lie. It's not a big deal. The child's already in me now. What should I just get rid of it? Lucas, since when did you become so heartless? After saying that, she actually picked up a cup from the table and smashed it on my head. A sharp pain spread across my forehead. A flicker of panic appeared in Lillian's eyes. She reached out to pull me, but I dodged her. At that moment, whatever last bit of hope I had for her disappeared completely. I didn't say a word. I just left the house. Sitting in the car, I grabbed a cotton ball and dabbed some medicine on the wound. I closed my eyes. Lillian had been the campus belle in our university. She was beautiful, smart, outstanding. Like anyone else, I had fallen for her at first sight and began pursuing her obsessively, but she rejected me outright, so I kept my feelings hidden. Then one day, out of nowhere, she approached me and agreed to be my girlfriend. She even introduced me to her best friend and that friend's younger brother. From that day on, we started dating. I poured my heart out for her. I truly believed she loved me. Her parents ran a small OBGYN hospital. After graduation, she asked me to work there. So I rejected my dad and joined her family's hospital. Back then, Sommerset Hospital was on the verge of bankruptcy. I begged my dad to sell our hospital's equipment to them at a huge discount. Combined with my medical skills, Sommerset Hospital finally turned around and became successful. Everything was moving in the right direction. But then, her best friend's brother Barry returned from abroad. And during that time, I learned the truth. Lillian had only agreed to date me back then to spite Barry. They had been in a secret relationship, but Barry had broken up with her abruptly. She needed someone to heal her heartbreak, and someone to save her family's hospital. That's why she chose me. Even after knowing the truth, I thought maybe, after all these years, she'd have grown some real feelings for me. But I never expected that she'd just keep hurting me again and again. This time, I was ready to let go completely. I looked at the divorce agreement my lawyer had just sent me. Tomorrow, I'll hand it to Lillian. Actually, I owned a villa in Newcastle. It was a gift from my dad when I became an adult. I drove there in the middle of the night, but I didn't expect to run into my old high school rival, Suzanne Cole, in the villa neighborhood. Back in high school, she was always ranked first in exams while I was second. Every time we met, we never had a pleasant word for each other. She had gone abroad after graduation. I didn't expect that Suzanne now lived right across from my villa. I was a bit surprised. You live here too? Weren't you overseas? Why are you back?